just a hop, skip, and a jump away. We play hopscotch in minefields. I built my house upon a trapdoor foundation. My world sleeps beneath the pretense of anticipation. So here I lay at a sound burial. 60 soldiers' footprints below the surface of this bubble. Centipedes march in rows of 3, 20 leagues from breaking through the ribbon of insanity. We wrote novels, sending ripples through windows and glass eyes. Dying to save our minds, dying to change our minds. Minding our manic manners, watching both hands with both hands. Handling snakes for Jesus Christmas, handing a handgun to the hands watching, licking the calamine off the trigger finger. The hands of time itch our clock. I'm timing time, watch repair, reaping my seeds, tearing my spine from the seams with which it's sown, jumping into the crevice. In my mind it plays, hence I stand today just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
I cannot bear these bare thoughts, building time capsules like castles with rotundas down under the sunken sun. Someone's under me, wandering, wondering. Nomads traveling corner to corner in surreal cubes of cartoon plots, rebuilding me with advice columns. Witness Walt tell her in the salt cellar, boarding the old yellers. Dislocate me from locations, me, who and exactly what, exactly but, exacto butterfly knives cut definition on silk. In the gateway to stardom where gangsters pack a lunchbox of pop rocks and mother's milk. Some other pilgrimage, some other time, okay, giant of the circles minus World War Barrier. This collage drips on your one-track mind, then I stretch my tailbone and sprint laps, 10 tracks by 6 words long, 10 tracks by 6 words long. Get your peanuts en route, my piece of the earth crust, hollowing out autumn, swallowing sound, the arrowheads pound, pound, pound. This sage was raised by my folk tales, spoken well in hotels where ghosts dwell. Skip to my oh hell, it's good housekeeping routine. I'm groping planets, what's the big ideology? It ain't all of me, just 13 blocks of sweet sweat, 18 times my lunacy. Aftertaste, it's as bitter as before. Aftershock rattles bones of homegrown deftones. The after song, still sung with more stories on buildings, building time capsules like castles. And the writing can make your heartbeat increase, creating enemies inside heads to unite frustration at ease. Pacing back and forth in that cube of isolation, isosceles, triforce, grumble, grumble, the caveman's waltz. We have yet to learn the steps, but I'm filling Krylon cans with settlements and throwing up rest.
This is my riot act, acting out of breath. I breathalyze my drunken death. Death is my next of kin. I'm kinematically balancing on a bulbous ball, bald from neglect. Therefore I'm electing to neglect its spirograph descent to rigidity. For critically ripping me from my lungs, hung out to dry with the sun's testicles I testify. Time testing a hangman's life, alive in silence. Siding with my sliding windows to the outside, I sight the lighthouse and I spy a sundial. Dialing 3, 33, 33 repeatedly. I speak to God directly, dropping pins in clarity. Clairvoyant communique, communion for a lunch break, shaking my head with the clock's beat, beating around a burning bush, brushing my hair out of the eyes of fortune, lying on her back on my futon. I refute the draw of downward in a retraction to my words, catch a cold knuckle in a face full of duct tape, take my hand, it's a leper's farewell, well-wishing, tossing coins into your gasp of surprise. I'm dying to sell my last breath before I breathalyze my drunken death. I reiterate to resurrect neglected sets of my genius, my tortured genius, dissected for science and crucified for dying dogma, infected with a tapeworm, where we summon a wormhole with a head like a hole. I hold my attention clumsily.
Apostrophe me, a stranded bandit banned from helping hands. Holy coastline, Miss Muffin. I'm out of tonic water, so signed the cosine of this untangible tangent. A sketch of life support, which might support cyborg court of ordinance towards its issues on how to misuse your place of object being. My fist screws such as antennas to transmit shockwaves, and we be fleeing, watching people eating people, gleefully misleading the tour group. Every face could be a sound, mine can be the cartoon tiptoe. I fit both warheads in my duffel
bag. Finished both rounds of the Sudden Thunder ski slope ski patrol. I'm spinning the DNA fibers of a crouching tiger on a wooden wheel, calling FEMA for a distribution deal. Excavation of a white palace, it wasn't my vacation spot. Nothing's wrong, I just feel like pulling out my tongue with tongs to put it back where it belongs. Sip these last goodbyes, they're only 50 cents a refill. It's my breakfast blend, except this trend will reach its own ends. I built a trumpet out of assumptions and a compass. I wonder if I really know where these notes will take me, save me from safety. I'm a 6'1" piece of sperm living in the stomach of some witch. She had septuplets of skeleton puppets called the escape artist, and now we all play trumpets, and you bump this in a house of mirrors. We're sleeping with our image, creeping on a small percentage, crossing the thin red line of scrimmage.
I reiterate to resurrect, my words marching in cement shoes, brewed in 25 cc's of epoxy, hung from a maple tree free conceptually, a victim bludgeoned at the hands of gerontology, an age-old fable, freeze-dried in a bed of sub-zero avalanche, preserving my diary's flesh, mummified wrapped in my text. Blessed by the breeze of struggle, I snuggle next to my stuffed mandibles, choking on sore words, marching with the scent of vengeance on their breath. So I dug a moat around my physical residence, digging up the sediments of my soil-sown mentality, to break free from the cookie-cut mold, yet only free conceptually. I sleep conceptually and breathe conceptually, speaking literally.
What if the fork in the road where identities become challenged was more like a shovel we could pick up to bury our past? Where rhyme and reason become questions, sometimes asked but always overlooked, sometimes answered. Uncertainty is contagious, decisions disadvantageous to our trails on a sage's map. Hazards misinterpret my subtle smile while second string dream catchers glide humble and proud. Take that tunnel out now, our life's the flight of a kite through a funnel cloud. Soon the gun will sound and we can race up the beanstalks, but first we should rest in these footprints created from the gargoyles game of seesaw. Spirit hunt, hear a thump in abandoned hubs of civilization. I feed on information in terms of thermal indication of mass movement. I leave trails of radiation and save face when I mask my path. Post the extension of a Renaissance dawn, and tap the keg of NyQuil in the rival recitals of your idle screenplay, who were inspired by people like you, look like people like him, think like people like her, act like mammals like it, fights like tigers being bit, bites like rappers like them, who are inspired by screenplays like these. In the rival recitals of your idle screenplay, who are inspired by people like you, look like people like him, think like people like her, act like mammals like it, fights like tigers being bit, bites like rappers like them, who are inspired by screenplays like these.
It's like tooth and nail gnawing at my ideas. I'm flying on a breath of fresh, exhaled by evolution on its deathbed. Faltering is my following. I left a trail of missing fingers and roots. I buried my feet and planted my pen, sleeping in a phantom toll booth. I breathe out of habit rather than necessity. The hands of objectivity caress me, finger painting my saliva upon these pages stained with the scent of a woman. Zip codes away from predictability lies my creative process paralyzed. Dueling with duality is my duty. A skeleton cruelty is crucified on a kite, dying to survive, striving to divide myself from the seams of life. It's like, my, what a tangled web we weave. I'm wedged between the sheets of bedlam, thinking of sediments free of leaks. I shelter seamlessly, a ceiling fan manner at zero gravity. Rise to your downfall and Newton's theory catches you at sea level. A proper burial in a stairwell, daydreaming face down. We chase down the sun each morning and touch our candles to it. I'm a druid, a flag stitcher in the blacksmith tapestry hanger, a Jewish gangbanger in the Germanic fur trader, skinny dip in the Atlantic, and I'll ejaculate some of my stomach acid into the face of adversity and her personal pride. My shaft stands vertically, I have a slight fetish for absurdity, so pass my bowl of couscous and I'll get open, cause I gotta get over.
In the rival recitals of your idle screenplay, who are inspired by people like you, look like people like him, think like people like her, act like mammals like it, fights like tigers being bit, bites like rappers like them, who are inspired by screenplays like these. In the rival recitals of your idle screenplay, who are inspired by people like you, look like people like him, think like people like her, act like mammals like it, fights like tigers being bit, bites like rappers like them, who are inspired by screenplays like these.
Do you know what free association writing is? Do you know what free association writing is? Do you know what free association writing is?
Thermostat, statistician with a pale universe in my thermos, Eros and Thanatos, arm wrestle, braille acne translation at an arm's length, seashell master recordings, pebble pay rent with a metal lunchbox, safety deposit, swallow time capsule, decay relief, hearing aid, Doppler effect, receding gumdrop, consummate circle, Euclidean verse sign, friction, rug burn, sticks and stones, flint rocks, spark plug, birthright, legitimized, free-handed thumbprint, parallel identity, long dick inner tube, cocaine dip, penile tip to a striptease, the camel toe exhibition in technicolor, red flesh, carnivore at a silent movie set with the mystery of extinction, Russian roulette, sun moon settings, finger food table, jellyfish, sushi, warp factor, in a 45-mile-per-hour zone, highlight reel, telepathic phone home, sand is shining, sea, shopping spree, cedar humidor workbench with the scent of a new era on a bed of nails, bicycle kick, time peddling a tour de force in a closed casket, closed caption, light waves in a greenhouse, luncheon, potluck, hemp house, anchor steam and orbital right, suspension bridges in a pop-up book, illustrations by the illustrious zonkers with text provided by circles, Newbery Award, Caldecott, seamstress, empress, angelfish, satisfy my fetish and flash me a picture of a female origami swan, foreign currency subtitled mirror image on international waters, blubber skin dive, emphysema, ocean floor, sandcastle plumbing, as night falls, the light bulb in Uncle Fester's mouth illuminates the cheekbones of a Baltic Nordic seaman's raincoat slicker, white rabbits, trench warfare, now and later sugar-coated hallucinations, mannequin carpool, company picnic, sandbag drop, curtain call, we're sure to fall in a random natural selection, first round draft pick, lottery blackball, stone the scarecrow and set fire to the dried hands, back to the homeostatic thermostat, overhead projection, dusty attic, laser show, Fantasia, room sweeper, lightsaber, amputation, gangrene, gumshoe theme, duct tape, adhesive, bulby, attachment theory, leather armrest, armchair physician, anthropologist with a glass eye, multi-ball madness.
Free association writing is when you take a pencil in your hand and you
Thoughts
put
can
the
come in
pencil
many
to a
layers.
piece of paper and
Let's go
start
ahead and dig
writing.
them up. Painting a fence in the midst of mist, slash my wrist with the pillow, place it firmly down my Puzzle vest. The Ahab, wanna be one of a kind, wanna hide behind beehive, caveman, lobster lounge, sacrifice nouns, scrounge for loose pauses, emission, oxygen, sensory gate, butterfly prison statement, turn page, blue thunder, yo Jimbo randomly hands fans, spit the dead organs up, insert your favorite graveyard happiness, keep up with the design, without I thought mine, deceive, believe, conceive, in reverse order, receive for medium crust, village, courtesy of diplomatic relations with other sources, rappers need not apply. I'll appear before the Mr. X of this 5-level drama with shrunken head misfortune and discipline while the mannequins continue to spin and revolve around gangsters with a grin. I look back on looking back and decide that I mistook facts with the whack-ass emotions. Steam hot boil face. Kingman says Trex, Johnny Sake wants to go berserk on my takes of inverted snowflake. Don't speak Spanish and Korean, it can be offensive like Ted. I serve bookies without placing a bet and serve your mentors and give mentors of my death. Like yesterday's princess who saw her fortune in the ego of a Siamese fish. I'd buy gangster rap if country were to back up alternative jazz, pimp, bloodthirsty hounds. I'm a studio portrait artist and your time is my canvas. Please see the credit, Kubla Ras. Iron chef, kidney, potato sack, fertilize the eyes of my brown, yellow, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, comma, colon, spleen. Wake up from a daydream and go back to sleep with a peaceful scream. Act fake, get your MBA, go show off your car's driver to the souls at the bottom of the lake. Tell them amnesia sent you with the pin, seldom halting, salting the ice-covered deficiency of my struggle, inefficiency, skeleton for life, the life of a skeleton crew, members lifelong cast, skeleton shadow lasts long, and the short end of the stick, it's a lesson, rope burn, hangman, Cinderella, Cherokee, formal ceremony, pickle juice, who's the gunsmoke engineer, bonnet head, avocado, Thor, coach the monkey shadow, I coach the monkey shadow, memorize this is like sinking your lips in a blanket, now release, go directly to med school, law school, no school, old school, traffic school, school of thought, school of biological advancement, summer school, University of Universal Blood, because sandcastles are now rent to own, skip the monumental tours and build your own, I've had enough United Nations for one day, can I get some sleep, steel cage match, hype the track, economic patch, guard route sanction, transition bureaucracy, there I go, it's right where I go, it's going again.
light of day, to a toadstool hideaway silently with an ophidiophobic moist soil motion. It's my eggshell to cocoon molding. Embrace the skin cancer. I'm a grasshopper with leg warmers, a former Black Panther in white lacquer, a screenplay actor. It's a serpentine slip of the tongue in a greenhouse auditorium in memoriam of the aforementioned collection of light photons. I'm here between the proles and property control in the baker's dozen genocide of the statues of gingerbread men, the Medusa retina technology, genie in a bottle sleeping in my malt liquor stomach lining. It's like I rock from the cricket chirp beat break to the cheapskate freebasing candy paint and huffing ziplocs laced with tester's glue. This is the planet of the snakes. We keep it true with a public swimming pool, lily pad, anvil workstation, DNA excretion to the Jamba Juice smoothie, styrofoam, and a Barbary Coast strobe light for photosynthesis, of course. In a red light special dark room, I built my Lincoln Log porta potty vocal booth, drawing portraits on your earlobes.
Just leave me to my thoughts and let me drift away. Let me sit beneath the evergreen trees and whisper to the sea. Let me reminisce with the old woman who knows all about my past. Watch me carefully as I diligently run my fingers through the sand, slowly building a mountain onto which you shall stand, and overlook the city of bright lights, big hopes, and significant dreams. Listen to the silences of screams, seeing the world with both eyes, but sometimes we too seem to forget that it's the little things in life that matter the most, and complicated situations bring about intervention between our actions and our thoughts. And on days that it rains, the water tastes like mud with this metropolis of lust. But who am I to judge God's tears as they splash furiously onto the floor? I'm just passing through, traveling with strangers, all coming to this realm to escape humanity. We usually stare at the stars until we fall asleep, dreaming of civilizations destroyed in a single blow, dreaming of volcanoes as they erupt and invade our petty homes, dreaming of islands that are drifting away, getting suffocated by the fall. And I tend to follow the beat of a drum or the hum of a butterfly that has somehow swooped into my view, staggering to the railing that lies between life and death. As the walls around me begin to crumble to the ground, the clouds gather, venting out ferocious sounds.
We came to build a mountain, for lack of a better challenge, doused in the light reflecting from a notebook page, placed in a world of change, chasing time to capture our fates and to gain control over the decay of space. We came to build a mountain, for lack of a better challenge, doused in the light reflecting from a notebook page, placed in a world of change, chasing time to capture our fates and to gain control over the decay of space.
The sirens of fishes dancing above the dark matter of the sea, scriptures hidden amongst crowds moving at an idle pace, the confusion on an elephant as he passes through these crowds. Puppets begin to dance with strings attached to the man he usually paints, symbols hung as ornaments from light posts outside the city's gates, mirrors being shattered due to the request from the queen. Meanwhile, a meteor struck last night while we sat outside and watched the eclipse of the moon. Chairs were meant to be sat upon, but still some of us use them to climb, to reach regions where diamonds are found dangling from doors like reeds, and melodies are what separates us from every other brick in the wall. Yet be cautious when you fend for yourself amongst the creatures that awaken with the coming of the mist, and be observant when watching the lights dim within the house of wisdom and vision. They say if you stand beside the tree that keeps one eye open, surveying its perimeters, guarding its garden's gate, you may come across a woman who turns young hearts into stone as night falls in the town of isolated souls. Humbly look away from the poetess who gave what little she had in order to rise from the dead, and tasted gratification of unbearable pain. For she's the bearer of bad news, walking with a cane, crossing deserts, dragging burden by its mane, searching for glory, for she has lost the notion of reasoning and squandered away what little respect had been sustained. And flowers no longer glisten when enamored by the sun, for darkness has swept across the land like a swift stroke of a brush, and from these ashes of disaster grow the roses of success, while an architect continues building, his body deteriorating with the hammering of each nail, while lilies float on deserted rivers that were once used to consummate life. The wind is just a reminder of how things once were, and with each seasonal change, memories are drifting, getting lost in the shuffle of cards dealt to us on a silver platter, and I'm left wondering if what you do in life really matters.
We came to build a mountain, for lack of a better challenge, doused in the light reflecting from a notebook page, placed in a world of change, chasing time to capture our fates and to gain control over the decay of space. We came to build a mountain, for lack of a better challenge, doused in the light reflecting from a notebook page, placed in a world of change, chasing time to capture our fates and to gain control over the decay of space.
Saniquarium. Saniquarium. Excuse me. Saniquarium. I let another fish escape from my bait because I was too busy watching the waves hypnotize our joint space. But if I would have seen those waves on this fish's face, I guess I could be a better fisherman. But I'm making a better swimmer, maneuvering through glimmers and grins. Damn, these ends seem to be a pun of justification. There goes a red sun chasing fins, grazing the lens-crafted madness, a reflexive counterpart for a moment's drip, droop, slip on the turmoil, spill, and intrude the loops we puddle around. Oops, I've observed myself short and put too much emphasis on the sport as opposed to the catch. Name rings, echo the same scene, set so differently, instantly I'm immune. Looking for the same fish in a different lake, but I can bleed in between smiles upon reducing needs, it's all goodwill. The same skill I've used to rupture rappers' colons that bit, but all these wind-up ventriloquists keep telling me that hip-hop is the shit. That must explain my heartburn. Because I make this art turn while I fish. Word to my niche, it's ecological in context and prodigal nonetheless. An obstacle to numb the flesh while I remove it from dead prophets and become skeleton druids. Soothe the wounds with dumbwaiter music. I'm gaining energy and losing fish because I'm used to it, bitch. Bewitched. The underground movement is under siege now, and I can't enjoy my absence. Leave. Cast a spell with an absentee ballot. No more fishing allowed. It's time to water ski on lily pads and pick off the filthy scabs and soak this mysticism in a solution that's anything but a solution. That's right, Frogger. My crew is a product, warped through traffic jams and on the billboard. I've been listening to rap since the gold rush, and I'm still bored. I feel more at home when I'm away, reverse predictions and divisions of change, and domesticate the stray. This fishing trip had me tripping, bugged out cause my luck's run out faster than you run your mouth. Maybe on a parallel route, no chance. Your advice is a courtesy flush. I brush off talk with half a touch, performance clutch, endurance too much. Ignorance a synonym for, you guessed it, infamous, suggested, congested. I keep sacred psalms rested in a beehive, submit a buzz when we plea bargain. All I want for Christmas is my 2 front to knuckle punches to drive through the hardest targets of assumption. I invite enemies to lunch, then poison the consumption. Still life poets spit larva in the sunrise junction, and so I sit with my fishing rod, wishing these odd thoughts were strong enough to catch one lake and keep it in my bubble, separating the real from the unreal. And the subtle splash, I bet you've never seen a fisherman swim so fast.
Serpentor sensation, brain drain in containers, stethoscopes on steel tables, arousal is parallel, agitate the skin shell, intelligence in pigtails, snake charm the gale force, and now you can call us Ishmael. Serpentor sensation, brain drain in containers, stethoscopes on steel tables, arousal is parallel, agitate the skin shell, intelligence in pigtails, snake charm the gale force, and you can call we Ishmael. Californian evergreen giant, saliva steam the cow rose, composed with my calloused John Henry hand, wedged between 2 days. In the third phase of the snake, I break free, shaking the tree trunks for breakfast to drop, smashing all of my clocks at the rock quarry. And I'm 3 stories high, the rise and the fall of light to the dark hold and life to be swallowed. Time is the tour guide for a populace blind to the incisors they are clenched between. I sip from my canteen, reasoning with the meat hooks placed into my cheeks, clutching my femur bone walking stick, talking quick with testaments to speak. In light of the time-tested process we affectionately refer to as innovation, and upon the role reversal of the bookmark in free space, I suppose the library card catalog would disengage my thinking place to antimatter. Now I bees a sulfur with the disembodied voice, north of reason, leaving your mental sphincters raw and moist. Like I lost track of night and day, and my rocking chair just slides away. Time sways with my rice paper kite, holding hands with my fossil watch battery acid rain, which stains the sanitary napkin through the apron of the French maid. It is here I will remain in the bottom of my tub drain, dreaming of when suckers would pay top dollar for my breath, in a place where scorpions would sting themselves to death. I lay on my burning rooftop with my shirt off, making pterodactyl bird calls.
We come clean in our sanitary Saniquarium.
We come clean in our sanitary Saniquarium. We come clean in our sanitary Saniquarium, bitch. We come clean in our sanitary Saniquarium. Yeah, son. Coming clean in my sanitary Saniquarium, motherfucker. Yeah, kid. I'm coming clean in my goddamn sanitary motherfucking Saniquarium. Just leave me alone. Saniquarium. Just leave me alone. semen fertilizes the sky. Skyscrapers just take their time to say goodbye. By the way, you save your last reply. In a thermos, I'd advise the tides to rise and serve a purpose. My pyrotechnical semen fertilizes the sky. Skyscrapers just take their time to say goodbye. By the way, your savior saves your last reply. In a thermos, I'd advise the tides to rise and serve a purpose.
Orchestral maneuver, candlestick, archaic motion bludgeoning. I grasp a damp handkerchief and tourniquet, rebuttaling the freely flowing lifespan. With the lantern in my right hand, it's the night crawler peasant lower pro. I overload the comatose cycles of daybreak within an eye blink. This mirror is a blackboard, lipstick scribe the lost tribe of Andromeda. The muted slideshow presentation simply killed the platinum egg-laying goose. I tie the noose to the rafters and hang the skull and crossbone flag. And I drag the sacrificial cattle to the boulder as God's gavel crushes the world to gravel. The 3D massacre is a shadow, homeless to a tangible banquet of reality. Our productiveness is landfill, yet our withdrawal is a bottomless cavity. I stand beneath the forestry, where the trees speak and choke on blood. Do you think mermaid pussies smell like fish? I stunt creative growth by questioning the nature of desire. Carbon copy the lessons, absorbed as vegetable flesh digestion. Fecal matter compression to balls of clay as eugenics genesis. Danger, danger, danger. It's sacks of flour and grains in a manger. The sun-raw savior lies in the crater of a brave world, and the sky is a leaky ceiling, a glass-eye satellite pin cushion. The dehydrated foliage is the skeleton crew in a burlap sack body bag. And I project my intellect upon a backdrop of flesh, and I inject ink as an indelible epidermal text. So place the record needle to my fingerprint. It's the escape artist platform on stilts, an innate soundbite to which all future development shall be built.
Certified, I swan dive in the villages I feel alive. Just subscribe to my syllabus, I still decide to take apart your architecture cause I'm certified. I swan dive in the villages, I feel alive. Just subscribe to my syllabus, I still decide to take apart your architecture and you're sure to die. The flight of the third bird from the candle will not turn back to the first dirt patch. These earthworms were just my first match. Now who's the catch? The days gone by. March to the fading heartbeat. My heart teeth sink like the art of troll shark archery. You're barking up the wrong yardstick. It's a short arm drag to the guard from the barnyard. Start the dark sequence and the road to be defeated before crepuscule. Face the north corner of the storm on a barren terrain of dried crow's brain and ice dripping from the thorns of your inner tumbleweed. Pour out the court of laughter and thaw the doors before they swallow my background. You have become Satan's tamale, about to be eaten by a gray wolf mixed with a border collie. Beckoned by your high-pitched squeals, the pathetic last words yet the perfect end to their perfect folly. Certified, I swan dive in the villages, I feel alive. Just subscribe to my syllabus, I still decide to take apart your architecture and I'm certified. To swan dive in the villages, I feel alive. Just subscribe to my syllabus, I still decide to take apart your architecture and you're sure to die, sure to die, sure to die, sure to die. My pyrotechnical semen fertilizes the sky. Skyscrapers just take their time to say goodbye. By the way, your savior saves your last reply. In a thermos, I'd advise the tides to rise and serve a purpose. My pyrotechnical semen fertilizes the sky. Skyscrapers just take their time to say goodbye. By the way, your savior saves your last reply. In a thermos, I'd advise the tides to rise and serve a purpose.
Ratio Airplay. Ratio Airplay. Ratio Airplay.
Does the fuzzy image clear up because the subject was of the ugly way out? I'm living out Greek tragedies, winning grave sketches of my grave on classical tapestries. It's time to be born from these somatoform ornaments that hung to dry without sunshine. Now pick a line, any line, and bisect it with infected hedge clippers. This is when the landscape continues to escape much swifter before social order closes her zippers, imposes her life preservers when I was just fine with my flippers. Sip the blush wine while I spit grime. Sketch the next episode so I can feed my commode past the communal mic so originality can implode. I just need to feed my dizzy spells in standstill mode. Busy wells are being wished upon. The king just pissed the wrong pawn off. All the bells never tarnished like this here mallet of mine. They say America's a salad bowl, but all I wanted was warm tea and to inform the more reasonable to seize the Easter Bunny. Now join hands and plummet from the steepest summit, but leave your plans behind. I need to unwind and continue writing the essay of a fugitive and pass through many. And since the seventh day of drought, its reflections and the directions lead to a pack of wolves, and it merely drips through my conscience like my own biological faucet or time zone signified by limestone deposit. Follow me out of my egg. That would be only the first leg of a journey with 1,000 feet. Let the crowds disperse so rain won't have to share the streets. I value this pencil more than you value those Nike Air cleats based on net advantage alone. I can catch the butterflies who sing around a pile of bones. Pile the broken wands on top of this onk. My mirage is a pail of pennies, and I've come to collect my winnings.
And Ratio Airplay. It's Ratio Airplay. What would a lobotomist do now? You're making me feel like I've never been born. Still yawning tomorrow till the bird built a nest in your mouth. Mad as a wet hen, I drop canaries in elevator shafts. The spelling bee spelunker of the Bullfrog Syndicate. I'll put some hair on that neck bone, and that's only small talk. Lend me your ears and we'll descend into the fine print written in the vessels of your eyelids. Dive into the violet, drowning in 2 cups of sand. Bury my hands at harvest, garnishing my palm reading. I'll swing my anchor here cause our planet is bipolar. Turn over the leaf, it's the 3 of diamonds, I'm innovation or bust. I bait my lifeline and catch a bite when I can't get up. Adopted by the doc, I'm handcuffed to the coral reef. Dr. Butterfingers, let me hold your attention. A tense pretense I speak in after the fact. Peddling my little tricycle to the summit of an icicle. Idling isometrically, breaking my silence with my sweat. Killing me softly, the tiptoeing place kicker. Flatland sniper, quick draw in my sketchbook. In Ratio Airplay. It's Ratio Airplay. Carbon bondage, aluminum coffins and silent sonnets. The critical comments in this gauntlet of inner conflicts. We contradict each breath we release as we inhale. Freeze frame in cold blood as we shift from skin to scales. Capturing imagination on the black market. Fathoming sharpness with the charcoal. Marginal exemption for the socially lethargic. Harnessed by the farthest reaching darkness. The largest starship, engraved with the native language, appears baseless in a makeshift cave script. Time is effectively wasted. Essentially, I must be misplaced. It could have been the first star I tasted as it faded my deflated memory. Though the line should end with me, I tend to believe in my defending plea. The duel of fates to fuel the states of unstable matters. Extending the cable to Saturn with my hydrogen lantern. I stand on the clay ladder. Hey, why not charge to watch us exist? Bliss by the distance as it falls. I forgot to draw the O's, but I still made the donation. The coronation of elation, she holds us helplessly. Selfishly melting in the sea while you develop belief on the cellibly sea subject. Disgusted with the trusted faith and listen the archive crate. Each uncharacteristic trait that is passed along. In mass we are wrong, formed beyond a synapse. I collapse somewhere in your distorted facts. The creation of an acronym is a form of population control.
slip. I believe the breeze's grip is eternal. Your maternal instinct slip sync by adoption, overcome by exhaustion. I speak with caution.
I'm now servicing your comprehension engine and subsequently suspending vertigo within this ascension. Beginning now, the typesetting is drowned in the depths of the reservoir with Gwyneth Paltrow skinny dipping in the divisions of each sentence. The preliminary planting seminary chalked up the gestation itinerary between our interplanetary incest. Blessed is those who bundle ear cartilage into partisan parliaments for the carnivorous critics to sink their lips in. This is the monumental existentialist, eccentric mentalist, neglected severed hand penmanship. And in the new ice age, we're causing the planets to gyrate, and the primates will run for re-election in the mapping exhibition. Wisdom is my gift, indentured to live infinitely as the man with the pen gripped in a fist till every surface he touches is ripped. In circles buried his own ribs based on superstition, and the spirits listen intently to any audible offerings I lend. Here on Monkey Island Iceberg, our waterworks serve tropical drinks, arsenic stirred, and I recite the blurred eye charts for the next 5 bars, while covering the mic with pine tar. Incidentally, in the sequential time increments all exist consistently. The epitome of an independent militant in this industry, I stand tall and broke willingly, serving my purpose as a reformist. I'm whiplash brainstorming the snoring listeners, and ad-libbing the coroner's reports, and also acting as a part-time minister.
It's carbon bondage, aluminum coffins, and silent sonnets. The critical comments in this gauntlet of inner conflict. We contradict each breath we release as we inhale, and freeze frame in cold blood as we shift from skin to scales. It's carbon bondage, aluminum coffins, and silent sonnets. The critical comments in this gauntlet of inner conflict. We contradict each breath we release as we inhale, and freeze frame in cold blood as we shift from skin to scales.
Lifeless hybrids harmonizing in my hydrogen world wobble at the brink in a hurricane quick draw versus the eye blink. The blind cycloptic sailors savor eye drops in benign binary optic closed caption dreamscapes. The benevolent specifications of a downhill human race deface the stencil traced barriers of nature still remaining native to the cranial sutures of a future equipped with gills. The shrill shrieks of crow's feet wrapped in adipose sheets greet hell's hand-picked handbasket half-heartedly. The cloud cover partially recedes, revealing lunar strip teases for premature tantric tension releases with the light years leading tenfold. Its consumption, relative to real estate, and elements in nomenclature, creating a segregated segue to devastation. Decorate the defiant tree stump demonstrators crucified on telephone poles, deaf to the knocking of death with UV ray fire blankets. So Uncle Sam and Ella can shake his moneymaker and piggy bank to the tempo of the earthquake between the microscopic steel templates of my 44 Magnum. Cro-Magnon was still brown bag in the sagging hemispheres, appearing post-menopausal by the Pentecostal Latter-day Stone Age. The modern-day monotony of the book diagram dichotomy left the diaphragm as a vestigial organ in the company of the tonsils and appendix. Thus ends the versatility of the sentence and operative creativity of a pompous populace pod racing to the two-sided box offices.
Oh my gallbladder, are we at the salary cap already? Go home and polish the trap diggy hinges from the inside. Oh while Circles Universe and I ride the next high tide to Chinaman's hat, and it's like
oh
that.
my gallbladder, are we at the salary cap already? Go home and polish the trap diggy hinges from the inside, while Amnesia Universe and I ride the next high tide to Chinaman's hat, and it's like that.
Soaking peyote with that dream work. Observe, berserk amnesia, the lone Ronin, roaming the range until every citizen become deranged participants, itching to expand their own limits under the lock and key lottery. 3 designs on the same token, spoken lectures broken in measures. Let your endeavors be the walking stick, stone sick. Why don't you roll miss? Give us the loot and bags the size of dreams under my eyes. Cry a tear for our criteria. Attach the attack plan and stand by it. Supersize it. Epicenter localities, i.e. Todd diving. Anyone come bite this? Lazy River digestive track. Only Eastcape artists don't sketch this map. Yet these Celtic lines are the only thing that's got my back. Fiberglass budget, disorganized dumb shit. If you can't walk the flat line, apply game theory. Get off the beach, you can't run it. This ain't skins versus mummy scrimmage. Catch you in full of slice. Dual cut corners real nice. Carnivore rappers scared to juggle the veal eyes. It's a game of seals and rats, merchants and serpents. To all my Tornado Alley girls, rally round the pearls in a clamshell classroom. If that audiotistic Cinderella is still in 805, she better get back soon.
Alright kids, put away your hall passes. The style I brought with me today, I'm positively sure that will amaze the masses. Please believe it or not, I'm one of the dopest MCs writing lines in lecture classes. While oxygen seeps in through my nasal passage, carbon dioxide gets exhaled, exposed to those allergic to airborne viruses. You need to clear your sinuses, add your pluses, subtract your minuses. There's a wrong and right time in this. This time I'm timing this to be right on time like Michelle never was, oriented on being. I'm an intelligent extraterrestrial being from the 19th galaxy. What do you mean signs of life don't exist on a planet you've never been to? I stand with my mic in hand and stimulate nerve endings in my brain, no longer attached to my artery gland.
Full of silence, ciphering with the sounds of science, blindfolded, focused in my depth of field. I'm covered with a tarp of moss, the running man in the land of sloth, where even reason is at a loss of words. My children will be delivered by flocks of birds at the earliest of absurd daydreams when I'll burn a fat bowl of time, shaking off my hangover, stone sober, staring into the vacant face of eternity. But fortunately for me, good fortune is foregone. I'm fingering the swan song phenomenon, napping on my deathbed till my reflection sports the mask of red death in the mirror each morning. I'm reborn through a birth canal of thorns, torn from the binding of my spine is a single page to rekindle the flame stirring in my handicapped writing hand, ordained by my blood stains, a blank face glaring unscathed by the unraveling of our universe's small intestine. I invest my interests into the impossible, pulling at the curtains covering my sight. My grandfather invented gravity in such a plight, fighting the ties of nature and instinct. Armed with just my whip and folding chair, I tame amazement in its cage, dipping my head into the jaws of lion's pride. My grip slides gradually and I find myself clamped by the weight of singularity. Here I am again, staring into the blank face of eternity. But fortunately for me this time my pocket knife can be utilized to whittle away at time and the thorns left in my side, reborn for the first time. Oh my gallbladder, are we at the salary cap already?
Go home and polish the trap, dig your hinges from the inside.
While Circles Universe and I ride the next high tide to Chinaman's hat, and it's like that.
And it's like that. Welcome to the grand opening of this writer's mind state, where it's open mic night at the Theater of the Mimes, reinterpreting each line into sign language. It's like closed caption, the hearing impaired, and if you see what I said, then you're halfway there. Shallow as a shadow in the shade of the night, I'll fade from sight, tranquilizing you the surface of your psyche. Numb to the acclaimed acupuncture I administer lovingly, which foreshadowed the night our earth was suddenly impaled by its own axis. What a mouthful of tripe, you can chew on my postulates. You must be lacking ventilation, ignoring the revelations of my subtle rebellion. Speak and spelling out the hangman's puzzle. But alas, I was muzzled. His vertebrae departed and bid him farewell as his vomit began to puddle. And I sleep to dream of the Andromeda shuttle. I'd huddle the sons of Mammal into the cargo hatch, launch padding away from the masses, padlocking my memory to fiction. But the flashbulb instant is burnt into the crimson layers of my eyelids, and silence is piloted by the voices trapped in the plumbing of my mind. So I dig up the diatribes doused in diaphilamide, dining beneath the flicker of the burning bodies. It's like death by a falling chandelier. And now the roadside cattle stand clear from the path of my force vector. I'm heading steadily dead center to the Tootsie Roll insides of our universe. My tank is running on empty. I completely eclipse your white dwarf, burning with envy in an Ephus pitch orbit, spirography descending.
Hey, drink it down, motherfucker.
Cheers, asshole. Cheers, asshole. Cleanse the masterpiece theater with my white blood cells. Watch the actors dispense with their tails still attached to culture. Dispose the teabags of these civilizations. Absent-mindedly subsidize the oil refinery that fuels instinct. And finally, your right hand and left brain can play a virtual game of Othello, while I observe from the newspaper stands, dusting off my portobello mushroom, still leaving much room for the capturee. You see, road construction zones still roam freely at sea level. I know the sun's consumption condones me to build with leaves and pebbles. My cartel becomes mercenaries, impregnating fairies in a forest of bamboo. And you choose to patronize myths with the fringe gifts, while I sit and observe from the medium, eating communication. This digestion goes uninterpreted. It's so under, yet I've only scratched the surface with the peso. You wanna live la vida loca in Boca Raton, passing microphones like batons. And all your homies 40s in a roid rush can't balance a lack of insight plus no ability to write on any scale. Oh yeah, homie, blind justice is no trapdoor, and I'll rap for the preservations of aquifers in our breadbasket, and observe from the tour bus, while my cheerleaders beat you senseless with breadsticks. You see, I'm just an observer, but one of our country's greatest. I've condensed this ageless process, plus I'm wise beyond my years. Cheers, 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 asshole. Here's to the passenger's effort down the hatch. I'm an ambassador to the concepts out of reach, a diplomat cramming observations into one half of a fucking speech. Now each and every one of you, reach right in front of you and feel the mist of the aftertaste, while this foundation puts it down for the hip honky race. Cheers, cheers, asshole. Cheers, asshole.
I'm the hand-standing campaigner of the Foot Clan. Any uprising from my lower extremities would be a march for advancement. So cheers, schmuck. My mic is only 1/38 my size, yet it's eye level with my third iris, so we're all on the same page. Hey, cheers. It's plain as day. Night is torn from the spine of my diary for lying to me and trying to creep into the fireplace where my heart beats. Cheers to the art of leaping over the countless mountains sprinkled amongst my paths, lacking apathy and laughing tragically at the collapse of reality as I pass my steel-stapled skull through the magnetic fields. A trapdoor escape. I'm inflating the gaseous plates of our atmosphere to the breaking point, taking a deep breath. Cheers to jerking off my diaphragm. I'm creeping on a come-up, sun up, sun down. In its simplest form, my firstborn will cipher for ears of a cornfield, figuratively. Yo, cheers, sucker. Step up the take, and my foundation in inner space begins to break shape. Drown under my weight, I'm an ice climber when a waterfall. A tall glass of my struggle is poured and presented in a short minute, so cheers. The ground kisses my footprints. The tar pit hardens to a scab next to the heat of a sentence, walking the limitless tightrope of tugboats. A tug of war with your spinal cord, between I and existence acting as the anchor. Kiss the canker sore at the mouth of the tunnel, and shuttle the bumble beginning. Sons of mammal to exodus, sleep in the plush memories of our destiny. Desk jockey desperados, swallowing time capsules, digesting tomorrow. Fry the sparrow, 16 layers of atmospheric mucus line my paper mate, scraping the sweat from the sun on Labor Day, then setting the match to the horizon, circumcised in its match point, baptized in the ointment. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, assholes. Here's to the passenger's effort down the hatch. I'm an ambassador to the concepts out of reach, a diplomat cramming observations in one half of a speech. Now each and every one of you, reach right in front of you and feel the mist of the aftertaste while this trapdoor puts it down for the hip honky race. Cheers. Cheers, asshole. Walking across streams of consciousness.
We piled up dead people in the ocean and called it our peninsula.
In a parallel b-boy stance, words will flood.
But we're still on this peninsula, blending salt and blood.
The whispering ear spilled from nature's handwriting.
Oh, how refreshing, now we just co-signed the sighting.
Climbing for a bird's eye, we fell from light.
You see, Mr. Rigor Mortis just kept hogging the mic.
When in doubt, my ear dismounts from the realm of sound.
Yo, I'm spinning 12 inches in the ozone, calcifying the clouds.
Bury us away from these malaria-diseased MCs, breathing over funk beats, tragically.
Speak your piece in my good ear while the other whispers the vaccine. The disease we designed, the disease we deeply designed.
We sawed off their index fingers and took shots of Molotov.
Corneas turned to neon film, this shit stinks like human filth.
On our terrain, words are worked from hardwood.
Throw the dead clothes off of their party boat.
Without a hint of caution, we dove from life.
Hey, how'd yours get all the time?
Ignore when the whispering ear these mammals sneeze.
I got a 357 pointed at your fourth rib.
He caught a headbutt running up on my orchard.
Yo, I smoke yabba yabba on the side of the port.
Please refrain from chatter when these hardcovers shatter the teeth of the meager preacher seated in my vocal booth.
Yo, I'm about to check, yo, about to flow, yo, check this out, yo.
His resistance was hopeless, quoting from his thesaurus.
Trip the laser, trip the laser.
I wrote a chorus dedicated to your corny crew.
Trip the laser, trip the laser.
Yo, Pete, my log walking measures in reverse.
You're dope,
dope, you're dope, you're dope, you're dope. I resorted to chivalry just to lower your girl's defenses.
Ride the last short circuit to the north corner of the storm.
I'm a skeleton to the bone, overthrowing bouts of delusion by alluding to the wisdom hinted at by the whispering ear.
What if we whispered during war and the coffins were made out of apple cores and the vaccine was a bookworm that made our eyes too sore to even read one page of our lineage, ethnicity, or race, and the disease we designed could indeed, as indeed it should, have history replaced. Give me them drumsticks.
So here stops the tactile tracks in my brain, fingers caressing the supple trails of these inverted teardrops. Fear not, child, the Tommy knocker within the climax of darkness. I wrote this here prose for my brain tumor, bootlegging the greatest flows of your scuba daddy. Teeth will hit the fan, I'll pour hot nickels into your empty skulls. Your girl recites from my scrolls, and she told me her menstruation is a reflection of my cannibalism. Your puppet saw its face for the first time. You traded your soul for a glass of wine. Follow the lines in the palm of my hand to the tip of the pen. A phallic dive into a page with no fate. A misprint, misrepresenting my metric mischief. With tonal scales I smell burning literature. I suppose it never occurred to her that vinegar poured on the curvature of this sphere would one day drip on your forehead. My forehead had foreseen the third dead in revision of my diary. It's the paradox of the autobiography not authored by me. Fine dining to my dynasty, eat your hearts out, and it will still amount to no more than the cost of this journal. I followed my gerbil into a wishing well. Who tossed coins into your face? It was simple a disgrace. You followed that. I mentioned the tracheotomy. Amnesia followed you down the wishing well. It was simple. Pour the vodka into my heart. I might see the...
Shut up, kid. Yo.
And that.
You must have not read the manual. Is that your lost Tibetan spaniel? Harvest your seeds of emotion. Hong Bao, the twin dragons, escape foundation, the trod madness, horse, Tucky, 31 Bug Crack Boulevard, red, white, and blue, Cherry Clan, Dragonfly Proud, Woodwind and Bernstein, Cheese Square, balance of power, sashimi, Q to A5 makes match for a better game, Vancouver, the gate, an eye symbol, just a thimble of cultural symbolisms, and a hand that handles animals, phantoms, and something to debate about. Wait about 20 minutes, it's the venoms of enemy out of free trade zones. You will see the light from who I don't even know. I'm supposed to interpret the gorilla sign language. Darn mice of every candy apple, white skin, brown eyes, red fur, trans purple smile, but yellow fever, the focus of a sharpshooter with the hands of a wide receiver. Your app like I don't even know. It's just like that. And here I go with your toilet paper, the snowflake theater, Y3K ready. I'm the peppermint pimp, morphing into the monkey, keeping it steady on the emerald calendar. Recycle mysterious fossils, lighthouse disco, of course it's all that. Bowl of lava stew, hoopla seasoning Tom Popo with my third eye, circular suture squashed, all that, rest of it's left. Didn't even understand if I sold you a breath, would you give it back in trade of the oxygen molecule that's diatomic? Yes, you wish you was like this, I'm about to vomit a bunch of breath. Civilization control, if you didn't even know, I'm one spear ahead of your whack crew, serving the girl with two trouts in both hands, a skeleton crew, dragging ass from the closet, get on you, and you might as well stand up, because this is some shit that's synopsis. It's like that when I've been tossing this totem bloom, but a wild style backwards of the seeds that I've been planting tube and I've been down to the tomb of the carp. Yeah, you didn't understand, I've been pouring out a little piece of that now. It's back, you're right like Leonardo.
Catch a fucking face full of duct tape.
Toast the newborn, dying as thought, summed up in a nutshell. Since my gut felt shade in the sun belt, felt oxygen in the rust belt, felt Krishna in the Bible belt, beneath the zenith in a Zen spiral, seeing the kingdom and not feeling regicidal. Titles get tossed at my disposal, being a coastal costume party hoster, feeling postal, posting codes still undeciphered, spider mouth traced through progress. Monkey in the middle of Triton and Aamir raw, pause for a foreign legion, domesticating seasons, my knees in the clouds. Rubberneck deep in the snow, waiting for my fossils to grow out of their roots. It's the white rooster, I shoot gastric acid on syllabic fear matters. Utterly fantastic, like Haddonfield babysitters. Somewhere in time, like the 80s, I gleek rabies. Lead poison becomes the antidote of scabies. I save these dilemmas in the center of agendas, results of my resolution. Resenting with that solution, confusion becomes confusion aware. Catch my vertigo from the attic stair, from the top of a lighthouse. I spy an abandoned prophecy and aim my signal flare. Shrunken heads I handle with care, kick off me sandals and hunt barefoot through a slew of sleuths, trying to expose oddities for the truth. Rappers hide in the trunk like Caruth. Amnesia's left in the phone booth in the mix with circles and a no-Kim lab attempting to clone truth.
Catch a fucking face full of duct tape.
The floodgates spoke. She was surreal, squeezing cardinals to death between her thighs with the eyes clenched closed. I was obsessed with mermaids, a merchant eating rice out of a hollowed sea urchin, flipping my prose on some flat river stones. So there's blood on the moon. Who am I to go against the wind? Shooting the breeze nonchalantly, ironically. In a spellbound day. This is the script that broke the camel's back. The fish-eyed lens with cataracts, a panoramic view of your flat planet orbiting candle wax. I'm the white vulture square dance in the panhandle. It's the Lord of the Rings triple beam circus, Mississippi burning freebase. Soon as started, soon as done. The world hung and spun while it was open mic night with my Roman candle. The paperback writer twosome. It's like the basic instructions before leaving Earth, until I'm the non-existent voice resonating behind a torn iron curtain.
Oh my God, kid.
By these works, and I'm a poet on purpose, merging every plane and blurring the lines between the currents of absurdity. Thus the planet churns in circular dynamics, so I stand to ride its curvature until north and south sleep perpendicular. I will die a prime integer, the feather pen skinny dipper, sketching the perimeters of the boundaries bounding tomorrow to my calendar. Johnny 5 battles these axes, balancing creation on light waves, and I break the dimensions of the page, savoring each moment. You see, I've set trip with Nostradamus and Nautilus, and I consider our Earth and its accomplice novices at best. For braggadocio is cliched, so I digress and pilot this precious track space safely, not allowing my time to escape. So here I hang my hammock, slanging monkey wrenches instead of my antics. In a candid story, pour it out my heart while you hold the cup. We're camping out at lamp 627, letting our skin breathe, deceiving the third eye with reincarnation reenactments bi-weekly.
And I'll carve karma with water droplets to crossbreed opposites. The dollar's weak against the yin and yang, slaying my name out of the tunnel's closets, unearth deposits, and we're out before the fog hits. Honestly, it's some novices' novelties, whose novels with paper maches make trophy cases in a biodegradable fashion. It's the passion of labor, and with interest I'll wager warp zone and get cozy with anthropology so we can bone. And then she cradles my lifespan in her arms. Spasms go to charms, to rituals in the middle of potato farms, to NATO's arms. And we're all out star watching across a block of stacked massacres, applying lacquer to meat lockers. With the same complex worms these killing feels, now designate that gate to divide dreams and anything else that could possibly come in between. And take a fat hit of crack and kayak across the black forest, compromising a theme for the accidental tourist, accompanied by a splash of hot grease on the chorus. Now it makes me wonder if pirates ever wrote ballads, balance space with vision, and pave the way to the kingdom of grace with marble and tar.
You see, we scam creators with strategies of their replies, disguise these goodbyes in the lifespan of flies. We scam creators with strategies of their replies, disguise these goodbyes in the lifespan of flies.
Drop the rope ladder for the Rain Man, the aerial bucket brigade man, and shake hands with the faint passing of my free association trade winds. I cloak myself in the sacred blankets of this innovation, simply renovating the Arctic seasons in the attics of artistic expression, with my offering objectified in the form of open prose, posing an opposing force to the momentum of the mainstream currents. I'm cursing the direction of time and dreaming in cursive, Xczircles' long hand served the village of the damned while high-stepping the running man. I always slept in wet sand across trained by insomnia. The zombie, Sealy Posturpedic mattresses are no toss in the hay fever, kid.
And later that night, I found soaked prints on Roanoke's chimps where pimps get caned. Birds of omen left slain in vain. I'm combing the grain, sandblasting the open stains in the frozen rain, backhanding the uncanny, setting me straight on tablature. It's etc. all over again. The plain terrain of seaweed I set up can talk to the ghost about my cramp until they replied my ear off and steered softly down a rocky shore. According to legend, there isn't much more but a baker's dozen of time cops marching off beat in loving memory of the voice's offspring. You are all out singing in the frozen rain now, but me, I'm standing under the owl on a bed of thorns, tipping the tree viper goddess while initialing the buffalo's horn. We'll both see yellow when we die, yes, but me, I'm standing under the owl on a bed of thorns, tipping the tree viper goddess while initialing the buffalo's horn. We'll both see yellow when we die, yes, but we scam creators with strategies of their replies, disguise these goodbyes in the lifespan of flies. You see, we scam creators with strategies of their replies, disguise these goodbyes in the lifespan of flies.
We're never letting our leverage lessen. Lessons are learned, leaflets will burn, and we will keep the ashes of your last vision in an urn.